I'm 3 years old, smooth tanned olive skin, a perfectly even bowl cut, an infectious smile, an enormous laugh, and a pink satin slip. Thrown over a buttoned all the way to the top polo shirt and non-elastic waist pants, dressing the girls in the roles that they want to play. Judy Garland, Hillary Clinton, Princess Di. In these earliest memories, I was a costume designer. But time after time, my mother was confronted by teachers. At three, playing dress up with the other girls was a sign that I wasn't developing correctly. At 5, I had to start speech therapy to eradicate an effeminate lisp that I never had. At 6, it was deemed too sensitive to fight back on the playground. At 7, I couldn't participate in field day because sissies like me didn't play sports. At 8 years old, my mother was told that my friendship with a black custodial worker, Miss Frederica, was a sign of my inevitable mental illness. And at 10, the same teachers told my parents that because I dressed up as Laura Ingalls Wilder for a book report, I really wasn't going to graduate high school. But despite all of that, despite the years of meetings with parent-teacher conferences, the meetings with child social workers, the sessions with child psychologists, the tests from child test IQ administrators, despite my mother's growing up in a Southern Baptist family, the only child, homecoming queen, president of the student body, weed-smoking turned recovering alcoholic, despite all of that, my mother repeated in what I imagined was a coolly even but fiery tone, her child didn't need their shame. My mother and father believed in a core Southern value, a core Tennessean value that my father sang to me in early mornings in the basso profundo voice that I would someday inherit. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah. But did they know how their addiction would change my life? Did they know that my siblings' spiraling descent into substance abuse would mar me? I wanted to be invisible because I didn't want to be a burden. All through high school, I forged signatures on report cards with all A's because I didn't want to be a burden. I dedicated myself to getting all A's because I didn't want anyone to have a reason to call home because I didn't want to be a burden. At graduation, my parents were genuinely surprised when they read out my 4.75 GPA, top 10 class standing, and full ride to college because I had never told them because I didn't want to be a burden. I wanted to be empty. I wanted to be empty of the memories of attempts at suicide, of calls to the principal's office to testify that no, my mother had not tried to murder my sister. Countless phone calls in the middle of the night that one of them had been arrested, they had been expelled, they had been committed to the psych ward, stomachs pumped, apartments defiled by parties, lost in snowdrifts on the side of the road, and always, always, always arriving to a family gathering with new stories, new problems that were never new and were never their fault. The invisibility that I feel from hate speech, from words like die faggot and kill the queer, that vanishing of my authenticity is the same vanishing act that I perform in my own family. And now 8 years later, after being an invisible child at 3, at 5, at 8, at 10, at 12, at 18, 8 years later, I choose myself. I choose to be visible. I choose to find that inner child that I never had. And as my father sang in the early morning as the school bus rode in, swing high, swing low, sweet chariot. I'm coming for to carry you home. Thank you.